Dear students, today I am going to teach you about Mediterranean agriculture from the topic primary activities. Okay. We will be discussing what does the term Mediterranean agriculture mean and what are the important crops grown under this agriculture. Okay, it's a part of chapter 5 primary activities. So in our previous classes we have discussed about the dairy farming, about the mixed farming. Okay, we have discussed about the extensive commercial grain farming. Okay, and different other types of farming which are being practiced in different parts of the world. So today we are just going to focus on Mediterranean agriculture. Mediterranean agriculture, it's a kind of specialized agriculture. Okay, it's a kind of specialized commercial agriculture. In this kind of Mediterranean agriculture, the people who are engaged in, they basically grow the commercial crops. The people who are engaged in this kind of Mediterranean agriculture, okay, they mainly grow the commercial crop. They grow the crops for selling it in the market. Okay, see. Mediterranean agriculture is highly specialized commercial agriculture and it is practiced in the countries on either side of the Mediterranean Sea in Europe and in North Africa from Tunisia to the Atlantic coast. Okay. So this kind of Mediterranean agriculture is mainly practiced on both the side of the Mediterranean Sea. Okay. That means in some part of Europe, okay, as well as in some parts of Africa. Okay. This kind of Mediterranean agriculture is mainly being practiced. So as because it is cultivated on both the side of the Mediterranean Sea, it is known as the Mediterranean agriculture. Okay, see. It is practiced in the countries on either side of the Mediterranean Sea in Europe and in North Africa from Tunisia to the Atlantic coast, as well as it is cultivated in southern California, in central Chile, in the southwestern part of South Africa, as well as in the south and the southwestern parts of Australia. Okay. And this region is an important supplier of citrus fruit. Basically, the citrus fruits are mainly grown in our country. Okay. The citrus fruit are not in our country actually, in this kind of Mediterranean agriculture. Okay, the citrus fruits are mainly being grown. One of the main crop which is grown, okay, in this Mediterranean agriculture is the grape. Okay, the grapes are the main crop which is mainly grown in this Mediterranean agriculture, and the cultivation of grapes is known as viticulture. Okay, the cultivation of grapes for commercial purpose is known as viticulture. See, viticulture or grape cultivation is a specialty of the Mediterranean agriculture. Okay, it's a specialty of the Mediterranean region. Okay. So what is viticulture? Viticulture basically refers to the cultivation of the grapes in the Mediterranean region. Okay, and why this grape cultivation is done actually? Because the grapes which are mainly being cultivated here in the Mediterranean region, they are used for making the best quality wines. Okay, they are used for making the best quality wines in the wines which has a higher demand in different countries of the world. Okay, so this is the main importance of grape cultivation in the Mediterranean region. See, the best quality wines in the world with distinctive flavors are produced from the high quality grapes in various countries of this region. Okay, so the best quality of wines produced in the world, okay, with different flavors, they basically come from this Mediterranean region only. Okay, because they are mainly made from this high quality grapes. Okay, and the inferior grapes are dried into resins and currants. Okay, and the grapes which are not superior actually, which are not better, they are dried up to make the resins and the currants. Okay, and they are sold in the market as dry fruits. Okay, they are sold in the market as dry fruits actually. In this Mediterranean agriculture, apart from grapes, okay, and the citrus fruit, okay, the region also produces olives, okay, and the figs. Figs are different types of product actually. Okay, olives, we all know that olive oils and all are being made. Okay, so apart from grape and the citrus fruit, olives and figs are also the other crops, okay, which are mainly being grown in the Mediterranean region. The advantage of Mediterranean agriculture is that more valuable crops such as fruits and vegetables are grown in winters when there is a great demand in European and the North American markets. Okay, so the main advantage of this Mediterranean agriculture is that the more valuable crops are being grown. As we all know that the fruits are very valuable agricultural crops actually. Okay, they are being sold at a very higher price. Okay, so the best, like the fruits and the vegetables, okay, they are being grown in this Mediterranean region. Okay, and they have a higher demand. The demand of these fruits and vegetables, okay, are very high during the winter season in the European and the North American market, because in the European and the North American market during the winter season, okay, like because of severe cold temperature, okay, the cultivation of the crops is very limited. So in this European and the North American market, okay, from the Mediterranean region, the fruits and the vegetables are being supplied. Okay, so this Mediterranean agriculture is a totally commercial activity actually. The farmers who are engaged in growing of this fruits, vegetables, different types of citrus fruits, olives, figs and all, okay, they mainly grow it on a commercial basis to sell it in the European and the North American market during the winter season. Okay, so that they can earn a lot of profit. Okay, so this is what about Mediterranean agriculture. Okay, and the main specialization of Mediterranean agriculture is the grape cultivation, which is also known as viticulture. Okay, students, now the next topic which I am going to discuss is cooperative farming and collective farming. Okay, this topic is also from the same chapter, primary activities, and here we will be studying what does the term cooperative farming means and what is collective farming. See, the cooperative farming, okay, it's a kind of farming where a group of farmers, okay, they pull in all the resources. Okay, it's a kind of farming in which a group of farmers, they bring together all their resources and they carry out their agriculture. Okay, see, a group of farmers form a cooperative society by pulling in their resources voluntarily for more efficient and profitable farming. So a group of farmers, they form a cooperative society. Okay, and they bring all their resources together. Suppose some farmers, they're having the land, some are having the agricultural inputs and also, okay, some are investing money. So like this way they all come together, okay, and they do the agriculture. Okay, because when all the farmers, they work together, okay, they can work voluntarily and they can earn more profit. Okay, and they share the profit among themselves. Individual farms remains intact and farming is a matter of cooperative initiative. Okay, and individual farms, it remains intact. Okay, means the individual farm, suppose 4 or 5 groups of farmers, okay, they are growing, they are doing this kind of collective cooperative farming. So they have their individual farmland. Okay, so all these individual farmlands, okay, they become intact and the farming is being carried out to, all over these plots. Okay, and it is a type of cooperative initiative. Okay, means each one of them, they help each other, okay, in order to carry out the agriculture. The cooperative societies, they help the farmers to produce all important inputs of farming, sell the products at the most favorable terms, and help in processing of quality products at a cheaper rates. So the cooperative societies, they help the farmers, okay, to produce all the inputs, important inputs of farming. Means to do the agriculture, what are the different inputs required, such as the fertilizers, pesticides, the farm machineries and all. Okay, these all are being provided to the farmers by the cooperative societies. Okay, and they sell the products at the most favorable terms, and after doing the cultivation, the output, that is the crops, they are being sold at the most favorable terms at a better price. Okay, and help in processing of quality products at a cheaper rates actually. Okay, so like this way, okay, it helps the farmers to increase their profit. Okay, it encourages the farmer to carry out the agriculture actually. So this kind of cooperative farming is mainly practiced in the European countries such as Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, Sweden, Italy, etc. Okay, so this kind of cooperative farming is not a new farming actually. Okay, this kind of cooperative farming is not a new farming. It started, okay, around 100 years ago actually. Okay, it started around 100 years ago, over a century ago, and it was initially started in the European countries like Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, Sweden, Italy, etc. Okay, in Denmark, the movement have been so successful that practically every farmer is a member of a cooperative society. Okay, So this kind of cooperative farming is very famous in these countries, and especially in Denmark it is so popular that every farmer is a member of the cooperative society, okay, and they do this kind of agriculture, okay, they do this agriculture, okay, on the voluntarily basis. That means instead of growing the crops alone, because if a farmer grows the crop alone on a single plot of land, he has to purchase the chemical fertilizers, machineries and a lot of things he requires. But if the group of farmers, they form a cooperative society and they do the agriculture, what will happen? It will increase their productivity, it will enhance, okay, it will enhance the agricultural productions and all, okay. So this is why this kind of cooperative farming is very much popular in these European countries actually. Okay, see. The basic principle behind this type of farming is based on social ownership of the means of production and collective labor, okay, and the main principle behind this type of farming is social ownership actually, not a single individual. No, a single individual is not an owner, but social ownership of all the people, okay, means all the people, they are a part of this collective farming, okay. See, cooperative farming and collective farming, okay, the cooperative farming and collective farming, they are almost similar to each other, okay. The cooperative farming, it is mainly practiced in the European nations, okay, like Denmark and all, okay. But this collective farming, it is practiced in the Soviet Union, okay, it is mainly practiced in the Soviet Union actually. See, the basic principle behind this type of collective farming is based on social ownership of the means of production and collective labor, okay. It is same like the cooperative farming, okay, but okay, where all the people, they come together, they do the agricultures and all, okay, but it is practiced in Japan, okay, sorry, it is cultivated in the Soviet Union. See, collective farming or the model of kolkhoz, this kind of collective farming is also known as kolkhoz, okay. This kind of collective farming is also known as kolkhoz, and it was introduced in erstwhile Soviet Union to improve upon the efficiency of the previous methods of agriculture and to boost agricultural production for self-sufficiency. So collective farming or the model of kolkhoz was introduced in Soviet Union actually, okay. Why it was introduced? Because to increase the inefficiency of the previous method of agriculture, because in the earlier time the agriculture was not so much productive in Soviet Union, okay. So in order to increase the efficiency of the agriculture, okay, in order to boost the agriculture, this kind of collective farming was introduced in the Soviet Union, which was known as the collective farming or the kolkhoz, okay. See, the farmers, they used to pull in all their resources like land, livestock and labor. In this kind of collective farming also, the farmers, okay, they give up their land, the livestock and the laborers, okay, all together, okay, a group of farmers, they give up their all resources and they carry out the agriculture, okay. However, they are allowed to retain very small plots to grow crops in order to meet their daily requirements, okay. But the one thing which is different from cooperative farming, okay, in case of collective farming, is that in collective farming, okay, the farmers, they are allowed to have a separate plot of land, small plot of land, from where, okay, they can meet the daily requirement, for where they can grow the crops to meet the daily needs and all, okay, which was not there in case of the cooperative farming actually, okay. So these are the two main types of another important types of farming practiced in the European nations and in the Soviet Union, that is the cooperative farming and collective farming, okay. So what is collective farming known in Soviet Union? The collective farming in Soviet Union is known as kolkhoz, okay. It is also known as the kolkhoz method of farming.